And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Factorio. Alright, our pollution has gone down considerably. Our pollution cloud was all the way out here. You can see the areas that don't really consume pollution all that much are sort of stick out. But a lot of this pollution is gone. Now our pollution centers are actually where we are doing a lot of mining, especially over in uranium, where we're doing a lot of mining and processing. And look at that, we've got over 1,000 of the 235, and that's just from these things grinding away. I mean, yeah, we probably got maybe another 60 or 70 from this system, but we've gotten over 1,000 from these things just grinding away ever so slowly, adding to our total. And eventually they will fill up this warehouse full of 235, which is glorious. So that's, it's a very well protected system over here. And now that our pollution cloud is sort of dissipating in other areas, we're getting a little less attacked. Well, I've got my rail system started. I had to come down here and I took out a biter base that was down here, and we've got another one right down here. They had taken out a radar. I had a radar down here, and they had taken it out and basically set up shop right in there. And so I was like, okay, we need to reclaim that to get some rail action going. And I would like to start possibly maybe spreading out and building maybe some systems, centralized processing centers. We've got 6.8 million iron left over here, and if we really ramped up production, we would have a downfall of resources, especially steel. Steel is one of those that you need a massive system in order to placate the amount of steel that you're going to be using, especially when you get into, say, rocket control units and modules, and the other one is low-density structures, which use steel and copper. So our copper supply is actually dwindling quite fast. 2.6 million left. Imagine that's not a lot of copper. In the grand scheme of things, especially when you start really using circuits. If we had a module setup going right now, we would be consuming lots of circuits. So I've kind of run out of space going north, and so I would like to start clearing out areas that we can then expand into and not worry about the biters. Best way to do that is, you guessed it, what I am researching right now, which is a huge research, 2,000 science packs of pretty much all the base types except purple. Purple, I think, is technically a production science, so not really what we're going for. I added a sort of a storage buffer for red and green to keep these machines running, to keep them going, and to build up a lot of science packs, so we can nail down some, fast researches and not have to worry about running out of science packs. As you can see, all my more advanced ones, from blue to yellow, they are depleting. So we are using them faster than we can produce them, which is why I have the lovely buffer chest. So, it's 2,000 science, but we had over 2,000 science waiting. So I know I'm not going to run out of science before that is done, and that's a good thing, because running out of science really slows down research, as you can imagine. I've also, this was basically branched off this way, and I have stretched that up. So we are now well into defending this area, because this base over here was sending attacks up and in, and they were hitting this area here. So I know that they can if they path just right, they could get in there. And our nuclear setup here is our lifeline. And if any of these bases make it into here, we would be in trouble. So I've been working on hopefully getting a little bit more involved in that sort of thing. And I would like a little bit of that so I can get a... What am I missing? Iron stick. No, I'm missing steel. Okay. That makes more sense. There we go. I would like a storage warehouse over here. Yeah, these things take a little bit to produce. This, and I want this only to wood. Logistics filter. Only wood over there, please, because I want to empty out that whole thing. And that all went into my trash. Okay? Which is why it didn't appear in my inventory. It immediately went into my trash because this was auto-trashed. So it won't take them long to empty that, as you can imagine. Yeah, and I could just drop it in there manually. But now this will only store wood in here. Because if I'm going to be out, you know, building big areas and I clear big areas of trees, I want somewhere for that wood to go. For now, we will find a use for that wood later. We do have the wood gasification on here, and that's, you know, that's a use for wood late game. All right, so the other side effect of the why aren't those being repaired? Ooh, I don't have a thing and stuff up here. That would be why those are not being repaired. Okay, well that is an oversight that I need to correct. Okay, let's build that up there. It's going to have power automatically. I need to get this stuff repaired and replaced. Okay, so you want to make sure your defenses are very well established before you tackle any sort of expansion. Especially if you go around if you go the route of artillery. One of the side effects of the overwhelming artillery blowing up the bases, they automatically target bases in their range. Bases and worms. They don't target the biters themselves. So what happens after you build your artillery and you start feeding it ammo is you get wave after wave of attacks coming in from all of the bases that they take out. And so you want to be very, very well prepared for that eventuality. If you leave gaps in your system, bad things will happen. Very bad things. Okay, so we want, let's see. These are offset differently. So I'm going to go right there. And there. And there. That's why I cleared the trees out. There. Okay. Maybe even, let's see if we can line that up. I can line that up. It's very easy, you know, a lot of people ask, hey, can you give me the blueprint for XYZ? And, you know, I try to do that. I try to provide the blueprints, but the blueprints are very easy to make. And I've covered that plenty of times, you know, just copying and pasting right now, but, you know, blueprints are just a permanent copy paste. Once you have a tileable setup, you can easily copy and paste it or blueprint it to your heart's content. And let's see. And I'm going to use the shift key to ghost place those. That basically just tells the system, hey, I want to place something over there. Right now, this is not going very fast. Yeah, this is not cutting in to that the way that I really wanted it to. And look at all the fishies in there. I'm gonna try to gather all the fishies. Now they don't have logistics coverage, but we can remedy that pretty easily. Oh, look at them all down here. Yes, all the fishies. Now I don't know what the spawning conditions are of fish. You know, if they'll actually respawn. Or what does it? Well, we'll be able to get fish in large numbers once we have rockets. You can actually launch science packs into space now and get fishes back. It's crazy. But we want to do something like this. This is our line right there. Yeah, I can't build on water. That's why I did that first. There we go. And let's get you powered. And then once these fish get taken, I can then place some more landfill. Let's see. You know, it's gonna be quite a lot. So once that's placed, boink, fish go get gathered. Look, there's all our fishers. And then I can do this going up, kind of just stretch this up, right, meet that. So we're going to want to start producing explosives in pretty large amounts because it goes into the shells for the artillery wagon. Now, the explosives require coal, sulfur, and water. Pretty actual simple setup. We have both of those things, coal and sulfur, on our bus. And then the shells themselves require explosive shells. And the explosive shells, I had to research tanks before I got to here, and explosive cells are, again, more explosive than plastic and steel. So we can actually use like this system in here. We can bring over all the materials that we need because they're all right in this area, which is not bad. When I'm standing, I just happen to be standing right here. This is the wonder of, you know, automated base building. So let's stretch that up. And that should be pretty decent coverage, actually. Are we gonna? No, see, we're not lined up over here at all. But we could kitty corner. This is one way to really make your system really expandable, is to kitty corner your roboports. If you just base it on the corner, you can actually get quite a lot of coverage. And I wanted to use some of that the landfill that we've got up here, because that I want that system to keep going. All right, so this we want to kitty corner, connect those two up like that. And that will actually cover a lot of that lake. Get all that stuff nice and covered. And that is a whole lot of fish. But I want to keep the majority of the lake here because that's a natural barrier that the biters can't get by. And if I were to fill all that in, which I honestly don't think I have enough, even 10,000 landfill, I don't think is enough, 8,000 to get all of that covered. But if I covered it, then I would have to put turrets, and it would just be like more work, and I don't want to do that right now. Okay, so let's work on the explosive side of things. We need chemical plants, if memory serves. Right here, chemical plant is what it's made in. So coal and sulfur give you 2 explosives. It's a 4-second craft. If we want, let's try. I'm going to try something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do this and then that. Okay, and then this is going to be explosives. And then we can connect the pipes like so. It would have been nice. Maybe I should have a 6th, you know, just for reasons like that. So we can connect these up with water relatively easy. Let's stretch these out. And then in here, you can see the bot's taking the wood right out of my inventory. It's glorious. Okay, so we should have some of those. Now, these need coal and sulfur. And they're going to need to stretch across. Yeah, this is going to be kind of tricky. Because we're going to have one grabbing here. Like that. And we need another one grabbing. Unless we share it, and if that's the case, then I should have just squished these together. What is the 1 and 1? Yeah, I think I can squish these together. Easier to do it would be just to do this. But that sort of offsets it. Nah, I think that'll work. Like so. Okay, and then we want a shared belt. And then the explosives. And now that we have blue undergrounds, we can actually go a lot further with them. I think they go 9 instead of the usual 7 or 5. Let's put a buffer chest there and a loader there. Okay, now how do we power all of this? Well, it's straightforward, pretty much. Like so. Actually, beautiful. That actually fits perfectly. And this one, not really too concerned. Okay, so let's get the coal and sulfur that we need over here. Thinking the sulfur, we could, let's twist that around. Coal can come up split that off. So there's my coal. Okay, sulfur has been pulled a little bit. I was hoping let's just drop that in there. I would like to stretch this out. Okay, so sulfur we actually need right in here somewhere. Or should we just dial that back? Like that. Okay. And then this. There, there, there. I could have done this. And that would just go like that and that. That's an option. And that just goes out like that. And there we go. Let's make sure I don't have anything on me. And finally, coal. We need another use for coal because this is no longer using coal down here. Just make sure that system is still isolated. Yep, right there, your red and your blue. That's your switch. This one is still isolated. Excellent. And now we've got explosives coming in. So from those, we are going to need to make cannon shells, and these produce every 8 seconds. Artillery shells produce every 15 seconds, which is, oh, it's painful. Because it's not exactly like a 1 to 2, right? It's like a 1 to 1.9 or something like that. So it takes, oh wait, I think that was 2. No, that was 4 shells. That needs 4 shells every 15 minutes. This makes 1 every 8. So we need 4 of these, at least, to keep 1 artillery shell going. So, and these are made in just a regular old assembler. So we're getting a little cramped in here, but we can use this spot. If we say this is explosive cannon shell, that's 3 ingredients. And remember, these are 8-second crafts, so it's not a high throughput. And then this will be the input for, we want this to be a buffer chest at the very least. So if we have these as the output, like so, then this will be the input into there. So now we need steel and plastic on this side, and then we're going to bring the explosives down right here. And then we're going to need like grabber arms, picking and placing a block away. And then I just want to load that in normally. I could put a loader there, but I really want to make sure that these are loaded. Okay, so I think steel and plastic, if we get some funny business here, we'd be able to get this up and running relatively easily. What are the other ingredients here? Just the explosives. We need a radar. Radar we can use. We can do a... Yeah, I think radar we will do a requester chest. So because steel and plastic are sort of neighbors here, what we can do... We're going to send steel away like that. We're going to bend this around, and it's going to meet up like that. And then this is a shared line with steel and plastic. So let's get this up and running. And steel's next. Now we want to avoid interrupting this power system over here. So I'm going to put this over here. Make sure it does not connect to anything. You want to make sure if you place power lines anywhere near your isolated networks, you want to make sure you repair or fix or separate the network still. Very easy to forget about that. All right, now the explosives are needed. We've already got tons of them. And now we have this thing running. And the reason I want these in place is if I build a tank, I can just grab some of these out of here. No big deal. And then we are actually going to want another storage warehouse. Because if memory serves, these do not stack very high. So we want something to store these. Where's my power? See, my power is not over here, and that's a problem. I would need to take this. Put it in there like that. Okay, now for the storage warehouse. Here. And we have power over there now. And artillery is just about done. And I already have a setup over here, I think. Yeah, there it is right there. This is actually right next to the radars. What is the craft time on these? 0.5 seconds. I think I'm fine with that. Where are you getting... your circuits? There it is. This one right here is giving the circuits. Okay. All right. Artillery should be getting done right about now. Artillery turret. There is a wagon. And this is already set up to say I only want like 30 of them. And these are like 40-second crafts. Those are slow crafts. All right, so over here, we would like to kick off these shells. And the one thing we're missing is the radar. So I would like to then request radars 50 are fine. Request from buffer chests. When that goes yellow, you know it's good. Okay, so this is an 15-second craft. And if memory serves, these do not stack very high. But look at the damage they do. 500 physical and 500 explosive damage. It pretty much one-shots all of the different bases. Okay, so there is our artillery shell ready to go. I want to see, before we go, if memory serves, these don't stack. Like at all. There are some mods that, enable stacking. Nope. As you can see, they don't stack. Which is why I needed a warehouse. So this will be able to store 2,000 of these. Which isn't bad, but that's a lot. I mean, that's 2,000 times 15 seconds. That's like, what is that? 15,000, 30,000 seconds? Yeah, 30,000 seconds. That's a long time. But we have this ready to go, and it should produce. It should overproduce ever so slightly, because this is 8 seconds, or no, this is 15. These are 8. But they require 4, so 4 every 8 seconds, and we're using 4 every 15 seconds. So yeah, we are overproducing the shells, so that will ensure that we have shells in case we take a tank or something out. We'll be able to handle it pretty well. Now the other thing we could do is we could pull up and get rockets up and running. Now rocketry, I thought there was a different kind of rocket. So you've got the infinite researches here. Explosive rocketry, there we go. So this is 2 explosives and a rocket. So let's go ahead and pop that. Because we have explosives now, and we could do a rocket relatively easily. It's 1 explosive and 2 iron plate and electronic circuit, and then this is just the rocket plus more explosives. Pretty simple setup. I mean, it's iron and circuits, which is, fairly straightforward. Don't think we need that anymore. If we do a rocket here, which I don't anticipate needing a lot of, unless... Nope. Okay. The atomic bomb doesn't require an actual rocket. Let's bump that up 1. And then have that come down. You are going to be like so. And then it's this one that we're going to want a buffer chest on. And that, and connect, and explosive rocket is less than, let's say, like 200. Granted, we're not able to make them yet, but we can certainly set that up. And now we need iron and circuits, which shouldn't be too bad. If we go here, and then we just flip this around, you can load onto a underground from a belt There we go. So that's loading that half. Circuits are loading this half, and there we go. We are having fun now. So what is the craft time on this? 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Pretty decent, straightforward way. And we already have them done. So there we go. And this filled up, and we have way overproduced our explosives, which I'm fine with. And now we have explosive rockets, and we're going to want those once we get the lovely Spidertron up and running. So actually, let's set this to like 600. I don't know what these things stack to, but we'll see. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.